somebody's going to get injured, and it's going to be a big deal, and it's going to be a key player, and it's going to potentially change a team's fortunes for the entire season. And this year, so far, the biggest one came yesterday when we got the news, and it's always player carted off, hold your breath, 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 and then you find out, is he okay or is he done? There were two of them yesterday, one bigger than other, and that's the one who ended up being out for the year, Rashawn Slater, who just signed a few weeks ago. Contract that made him the highest paid offensive lineman in NFL history. Down he goes, carted off, torn patella tendon, done for the year. It reminded me of LaCharles Bentley. Remember when LaCharles Bentley signed a big contract, I think was it with the Browns? On the first day of camp, he blew out both patella tendons, I believe, on the same day. It was at least one. It was maybe two. Somebody blew out two. Anyway, I digress because I'm starting to forget the facts. Rashawn Slater, patella tendon tear, done for the year. Good for him that he got his contract. Bad for the Chargers, they're not going to have him in 2025.
That's the only good thing you can say is that he got his money, and well-deserved. One of the best tackles, one of the best left tackles in football, but just really unlucky. That's all you can say for the Chargers, because this didn't happen in a game. I mean, it happens in practice. I mean, this can happen at any time, and it's just unfortunate to see. Now, for the Chargers, and you think about how Jim Harbaugh wants to build his teams. Last year at the top of the draft, he says, no, I'm not going to go for a wide receiver. I'm not going to go for a skill position guy. Who does he draft? A tackle. And so that's exactly what he wants. Big guys up front and have a power running game and play action and all that stuff. So Slater is a key cog to how they want to play, and really and this is not an exaggeration. I mean, the quarterback, you got the quarterback, but a guy like Slater is like the hub of the Chargers offense. It's just, you just hate to see it at this point in the season, too.
By the way, it wasn't both patella tendons. I think it was Wendell Davis who once tore both on the same play trying to jump on the old Veterans Stadium green cement. It was the first snap of 11-on-11 drills, July 27, 2006. In Cleveland, that down went LaCharles Bentley with the torn patella tendon. He was never the same after that. Because, look, they always say surgery was a success. Well, sometimes it's not, and sometimes there's an infection, and sometimes there's another surgery. And so this is one of the reasons why I try to get people to be a little more, sympathetic, empathetic to football players. Because when you get that injury, you need surgery. Well, it's a big deal. Because, number one, surgery is always a big deal. And number two, stuff can happen after you've had the surgery, and you may need more surgeries. And it's not easy, and it's painful, and it takes time, and it derails your career. And even though Slater got paid, and that gives him financial protection, he'd still prefer to not need that protection. He'd prefer to be playing. They're going to move Joe Alt, second-year tackle from the right side to the left side. Trey Pipkins III will be playing on the right side. Alt was a top 10 pick. Alt is a very large human. Saw him on the field at the Hall of Fame game 8 days ago. And, great bookends in Slater and Alt. And now they're going to have to reshuffle. And this is what every team's got to deal with at some point. You're going to have injuries. And now the Chargers scrapping the plan they had for their offensive line and changing it on the fly. The only good thing about it is they still have about a month to get their new offensive line ready to go for week one.
Years ago, it used to be, hey, if you're a kid, try to grow up to be a quarterback and get the money. And then it went from quarterback, that's still the case. Quarterback, defensive ends, pass rushers, they get paid. Well, you know what, Mike? There's a shortage of these guys. I mean, every team in the league is looking for good tackles. If you polled every general manager in football and said, do you like your left tackle and your right tackle? Maybe half of the league would say, yeah, we're comfortable with the guys that we have. So there's a real shortage there. So If you're one of the bigger kids and you say, hey, I can never be a quarterback, I can never be a defensive end, you might want to go toward a left tackle or right tackle because those guys are gold in the NFL. And I think the Chargers are going to find out just how difficult it is to find replacements because there's just not enough quality replacements in the league for the need at the positions.
No, you're absolutely right. And look, all it takes is one weakness in your offensive line to make the other four positions irrelevant, but you still need to have a great tackle on each side. There was that idea that the left tackle was the end-all, be-all. No, you still need to have two good tackles. You need to be able to minimize the ability of defenders to come around the side and collapse the pocket. But you also, as Tom Brady, that was Tom Brady's kryptonite, the pressure up the middle. You need all five, yep. But it starts with the tackles and it works its way inside. And the Chargers were set, and now they're not. And how they react to it, Jim Harbaugh's attitude is going to be, let's go, next man up. This is what we do. This is what football is. Guys get injured. Guy gets injured, we got to move on. It can be any guy at any time, and you have to be ready for it. It's a shame that it happened, and now they move forward. By the way, it was Gary Baxter.
You probably need three of them.
2006. Oh, you need. I mean, and think about this. Think about this.
Yeah.
Offensive line, you've got your five guys, and a backup who comes in, a swing guy who comes in, but you rarely see more than 6 offensive linemen play in a game. The best defenses have 8, 9, 10 linemen that are rotated in and out all game long. And they're fresh. And this offensive line, they're done. I mean, so the best teams have 5 guys who stay healthy all year, who play well, and get completely ignored. Because when that's happening, the quarterback's great. The running back's great. The receivers are great. And it's it's as old as football. The offensive line, when it's really good, nobody pays attention to the offensive line. And their exploits, unless they're dominant, their exploits get overlooked.
Yeah, and really the game, it is an old story, but the game has changed in a sense where, years ago, if you had 2 good corners, say, hey, that team's pretty good. Well, you need 3 corners in today's game. I remember, you want to talk about a story that didn't age well. I remember writing a story. This is a Monday night game years ago, a Monday night game in Pittsburgh. It was the Steelers and Bengals. And I remember writing this. The Steelers are going to be challenged to deal with the exotic 3 receiver sets of Cincinnati head coach Sam Wyche. Like, nobody says that now. 3 receivers. So sometimes you have 4 of those guys out there, and you have 2 tight ends, and both of them can catch. I mean, there's just so much more to account for in today's game. A sophistication that has gone up exponentially. And so I think tackles, you used to, the Michael Lewis blind side, that's dated too. It's not just the left side. You got to have a good left tackle, a good right tackle, and a good swing guy to get through the season.
When I think back to when I discovered football in the 70s, and if you go onto YouTube and watch some of those old games, the standard pro offense was 2 running backs split behind the quarterback in a 3-point stance before the play, hand on the ground in the backfield, 5 offensive linemen, tight end, a split end, and a flanker. That was your offense. And, when they started using 3 receivers, that's a big deal. 2 tight ends, that's kind of different. Only 1 running back? Who uses only 1 running back? No running backs? No one's back there? Nobody does that. So, it is amazing. But the core of the offense continues to be the one thing that hasn't changed, Michael, except when you'll see, and it's typically an offensive coordinator who's trying to get a head coaching job. So he does the weird thing where the offensive linemen split out wide and it's just the center. Every once in a while you'll see that weird, funky formation. Right. But it's 5 guys across, tackle, guard, center, guard, tackle. That has not changed.
Yeah, I know Sims says it all the time when he's talking about Philadelphia. I mean, just think about them last year. There were many reasons that they had a dominant win in the Super Bowl, but at one point you just looked at it and said, Kansas City has no chance against these guys. These guys are just beating the hell out of the defensive line and everybody in front of them. You got the best offensive line in football. You got a chance to win every game, to stay in every game, to protect the quarterback. So really, offensive line, defensive line, of course, but the offensive line, when you got the best O-line in football, which Philadelphia does, or it did last year, you're going to be tough to beat.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.